All right. Settle down and come on in. But behave, or no perfume for you today. Got a lot to discuss. So, weather's really nice. We won't show the weather, but it's been absolutely gorgeous today. Um, Warm, sunny, no clouds. Want to talk about Le Labo. Do I have a complex? Does Le Labo give me a complex? Obviously, if you've followed my videos and watched my disdain for Le Labo, my trashing of Santal 33, yada yada yada, it's very clear and evident. I have some issues with Le Labo, but we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about the city exclusives. Here's my scent of the day, Mousse de CHENE. A really nice Neo Chypre. Le Labo calls it a Neo Chypre, as in a new Chypre. It's definitely aesthetically built for Le Labo. I don't really know what they mean by new. Maybe some new synthetic aromas, but got a comment the other day in one of my videos. It was on my trashing of Memo Paris African leather video, and the guy basically saying, you know, you did this video once already, why are you doing this again? Is it just for views? And you know, oftentimes I do talk about the same fragrance multiple times. Is it for views? You know what? Every single video on YouTube is for views, if we're honest. Nobody creates a video not to be watched. Now, there's certain things people will do for more views and certain things people will not do because they're not interested in going that way. But yeah, definitely every video is for views. I often talk about fragrances over and over again because this is my journey and this is what I decide to do. This isn't a cookie cutter channel. You got lots of channels out there that will discuss things that you're after, panty droppers, compliment getters, lists, stuff like that, you know. For me, it's basically me taking you guys on a journey. I don't even consider myself a YouTube fragrance reviewer. I just do whatever I want with no schedule, no timeline, no attachments to anything. When I feel like doing a video, I'm going to record a video and that sort of thing. But you know what? If I want to talk about Santal 33 and trash it or praise it 3 times a week for the next 50 years, I can do that, and I will do that. And there's definitely enough to talk about it where it keeps it from being redundant. You can talk about one fragrance for the rest of your life and come up with new content. I'm sure there's a way of doing that. So I'm going to talk about the same fragrances over and over again if I wish to, if I please to, if I find that there's something interesting for my audience and something that we can all learn from. So that's that. Anyway, I got a couple more. These are city exclusives that I'm booting about, and we'll open those up and we'll just talk about Le Labo in general and where I stand with the brand. And let me turn this around. All right, so you guys know that oftentimes I wear and talk about perfumes I don't like, and it's really to try and discover what it is about the perfume that I don't like, or what is it about myself that doesn't allow me to appreciate this perfume. And Le Labo is a brand that I've struggled with in the past over and over again, as you know, I've documented many times in several videos. And a lot of you are aware that I've been going through this transformation process over the last year, this process of self-discovery or awakening, or, you know, not to get confused with a woke or conspiracy theorists or theories, but more of a self-actualization process of me getting to know who I truly am underneath my triggers and just being able to stand in my truth. And it's actually been one of the greatest processes of my life, something that has been equally painful but truly enlightening at the same time. And I've taken a lot of the relationships in my life, personal, family, friendship, workmates, along with perfume, and I've used them as teachers. So everything that I come across is a lesson for me. And if it triggers me, I really sit down and try to understand where it is, where is that trigger coming from? What is the purpose of this? What is, there's this lesson. What is it trying to tell me? And how can I fix this? So when something bubbles me, when I feel something, when I smell a Labo, I get pissed off for whatever reason. And I let that now bubble to the surface to learn or see, what can I learn about this? What is my body? What is my mind trying to tell me? So it's more of a spirituality thing than anything else. And, in my perfume journey, I've been really fortunate to have a Guerlain boutique in my community. So I've spent a lot of time there getting to know the classics, getting to know fine French perfume, made by master perfumers with great craftsmanship, using great materials. And everything else after has been kind of, left on the train tracks to get smashed over and compared with by Guerlain or Chanel, and including, brands like Le Labo and Byredo or stuff like that. So, which is unfortunate because, Le Labo's never really made out to be, fine French, elegant, sophisticated. They are a niche brand, true, and that's what they strive for. And they do their own thing. They don't follow trends. And I'm not telling you that they are the greatest brand ever. They're my new favorite. I'm just telling you how and why they trigger me. So for me, really, I was very judgmental, without giving them a chance. I was not open to new ideas or new concepts or different styles of perfume. Very closed-minded. And, when I got to know a lot of these Le Labos, I understood, the vision that they had and how they had succeeded. So when you walk into a Le Labo boutique, if you have one in your neighborhood, you'll see a lot of the, the furniture it's very unfinished. It's very retro. It's, it's scuffed. It's missing pieces. It looks like it belongs in an old hardware store. The boutiques look like old hardware stores. They've got plumbing hanging off the wall. They've got broken tiles on the wall. So it's all this very retro look to them. And when you wear their perfumes, you can definitely feel that retro industrial finish to them. I've said lots of times they felt unfinished. They feel rough. They felt aggressive. They're bold and brash and that sort of thing. So, and then, once I was able to come into this with an open mind and realize, all right, this isn't Guerlain, this isn't Chanel, this isn't Frederic Malle, this is Le Labo. And there is, there's no such thing as good or bad perfume. There's perfume that you like and don't like, but, good or bad are values that we attach to things based on our judgments or past experiences on other things. So everything for me has been a comparison to Guerlain, and that's really why I had painted Le Labo in this really ugly, nasty, dirty picture. And a lot of it was ego-based as well, as, it's not hard to tell. But like I said, I'm not saying this is my new favorite brand, but I've absolutely gotten to appreciate them on a much deeper level. But I think that's possible for anything. You can absolutely hate a perfume, but if you wear it consistently and you try it out, I think, you start to grow a little bit of an attachment to it. It's no different than trying a food that you don't like. Once you get used to it and you understand what it truly is, your minds and your opinions do change. But getting to know, I actually appreciate the city exclusives a little bit more, and it's not because they're more expensive or harder to find. It's just, how I feel. I think their use of incense and smoke notes in the woodier versions of the city exclusives are amongst the best that I've ever found. Their incense, frankincense, is they've really used it at a high level, and something I've actually come to be able to appreciate. So I have picked up Tabak 28 and GAIAC 10, and these are two that didn't really stand out for me when I got to the boutique. GAIAC was just so light and fleeting that I wasn't able to comprehend it. So I think I've got a really good nose for me. I've got no problem smelling scents over the length of the day. But the second I come into a department store, I struggle. I really struggle to smell things. I think it's just there's so much perfume in the air that I fail. Like if there's something I specifically want to smell, it's got to be the first one or two things when I get there. I've got to run and smell them first. Otherwise, my nose gets shot really early on. So when I got to GAIAC, it was like, I just, there's nothing on the blotter that I'm able to perceive, and that kind of thing. Even Tabak, like when I got Tabak, I was like, I'm not really sure how I feel. Like I can definitely see the resemblance to Santal. It had some Santal references to it, but GAIAC 10 really came highly recommended by a lot of people, so I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving it an opportunity, even though it's kind of like what I would consider a very expensive blind buy. So I've got these showed up. These sold out really quickly, surprisingly, in Toronto, and I think she said GAIAC sold out first. GAIAC Tabak sold out first. So these came in from Vancouver, shipped in from Vancouver. Hopefully the bottles are okay, even after kicking them through the front door. So I'm gonna smell GAIAC 10 first, purposely, just because I feel like it is a little bit lighter. But they say it definitely lasts on skin. It likes to play that game of peekaboo. All right, so yeah, bottled in Vancouver Nordstrom. And I've got some blotters here. All right, let's see what my complex tells me about GAIAC 10 Tokyo. So it's got a lot of freshness to it. All I really get is like ISO cedar. To me, it's not sweet. It's slightly dry. But this perfume doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And this is why I couldn't pick anything up on a blotter. It smells like nail polish remover, if I'm totally honest. And woody. But I don't get any contrast. I don't get any colors or textures. It's actually really smooth. I don't get any kind of features and maybe it's just something that takes skin to develop, but I'm going to put some on my skin now and I'll come back to it. All right. So let's open Tabak 28. And this was one of the woodier ones. And, when I got to try them all, it was the woodier ones that I was really, I seemed like I was drawn to. So the first one that I loved was Queer, like right on the spot. And then it was, so Queer and Mousse de CHENE really stood out for me. After that, I think it was vanille, aldehyde. I thought benjoin was really nice. That had a really nice use of incense. So a lot of the woodier ones have a great use of incense. There was a couple of the fresh citrusy ones that I didn't really care for. So they had, it wasn't Neroli, it was Citron. I think Citron's the newest one. Citron. I thought Tuberose was really fresh, and it wasn't really Tuberose, like right on a card. It didn't smell like New York at all. I think it was more Neroli and Orange Blossom is what I picked up. I was expecting, you know, something to smell like New York City. So maybe after a Yankee game, the way the subway would smell after the crowd's been eating hot dogs and popcorn and caramel corn and that sort of thing, and maybe some rats running down the subway system or something. But it was just way too fresh and clean to smell anything like New York. But there's Tabak. Love the color of that juice. Absolutely gorgeous. I think this is one of the darker ones. Maybe as dark as Queer. But let's put this on a card. So this is starting to get incensey and ashy now. And I've got a better vision of what GAIAC is. It's smoky, incensey, and ashy. And I don't know what I did with my laptop to look it up, but it's actually much nicer now, which is kind of a relief. So Tabak's got a huge punch right in the opening. And it's like leathery, smoky. It feels like a synthetic rum accord, whiskey maybe. But I don't get tobacco right off of the right off the top, but it is very ambery. Tobacco, it almost feels more like a green cigarette tobacco. More than like, it's definitely not sweet. It's not pipe cherry tobacco. But it is quite green actually, like an earthy green, not wet green, very dry green. But I love that there's no sweetness to this. It's more leathery than anything else. But I have a feeling that this will develop a really nice it's quite herbal. Like I get that herbal texture to it. And that could be the tobacco. So GAIAC 10s turn into like pure smoky incense on me. Again, nothing sweet. It's mostly dry. Like this is churchy incense, almost like temple-like is what it is. I really like that, and I'm glad I picked that up. Where did the GAIAC go? I lost my GAIAC bottle. Tabak is very dark. It is very dark. I get a lot of leather from Tabak, more leather than tobacco. But it's very ashy, like I smell cigarette. It's very woody. There's no freshness here. which I like as well. Neither of them are sweet or fresh. The fresh ones really just kind of, I steered clear from the fresh ones this year anyway. I haven't gotten a chance to see how they develop, but they just seem so uninteresting to me compared to a lot of these heavier, woodier ones. I really like the heavier, woodier ones. They're what really stood out. But anyway, I'll get back to you with more about these, Tabak and GAIAC. I'm sure they're both going to be great. But the exclusives go till the end of the month. So let me know if you've grabbed any city exclusives or if there's any that interest you. Drop a comment down below. Love reading your comments. Read all the comments. Hit the like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I've noticed through analytics, only 50% of my viewers are subscribed. Not really sure how that works, but subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye.